Hey YouTube, it's Hannah Loba. If you want more MotoAmerica content, check out the new and vastly improved MotoAmerica Live Plus app. It's the only place you can catch all the race action in one place all season long. Click the link in the description below.
Starting grid for Mission King of the Baggers, race number 2 from Circuit of the Americas has Tyler O'Hara at a 15.0 on pole.
Right next to him, Kyle Wyman and Troy Herfoss. Bobby Fong, who, again, was in that lead group, had some problems. Rispoli is there, and Hayden Gillum, our defending champion, just outside of row 2, with Rocco Landers, Kyle Onsword, Corey West on row 3. And then we have Travis Wyman, Max Flinders, and Jake Lewis. You see him there, Greg, but I think that Jake didn't line up for this race.
And running. Revs are up. And here we go. A slew of American iron heading to turn 1 for race number 2 here at Circuit of the Americas.
Oh, Hayden Gillum with a big move, jumping down the inside of Herfoss and some others. Herfoss is going to turn it back underneath him, get a little bit loose. Same guy leading as the first race, though. O'Hara off to a nice clean start, gets away through that first turn, letting everybody else battle their way through second. Now this becomes a little bit more single file down through all these S's. But O'Hara's away again. It looks like Kyle Wyman, or I'm sorry, I can't tell if it's Hayden or Kyle there in second. I know Hayden got a great jump. It is. It's Hayden Gillum running in second.
Yeah, number 1 plate on that Revzilla Motul Vance & Hines Harley Davidson, chasing the S&S Indian Challenger. Motorcycle, that factory effort. Good look at Rispoli. But Hayden Gillum, boy, they found something between race 1 and race 2.
He's going to take a shot, I think, early here. If it's not here, it's going to probably be at the end of the back straight if he can get into the draft of that factory Indian in front of him. This is a little bit easier work from Herfoss. Remember, he was 6th earlier on in the race off the start and stayed back there most of the time. So now he's put himself and sees himself in a better spot as the Vance & Hines Harley Davidson is trying its best to stay up with the legs of that factory Indian at the front. You can see O'Hara's just got a little bit of speed on him down that back straight. Kyle Wyman looking like he wanted to take a shot at Herfoss. Couldn't do it. Bobby Fong there, Greg, in 5th. And then it's James Rispoli just off the back in 6th.
Off the back straightaway, Kyle Wyman just touched 169.9 miles per hour in that draft. Not bad for bagger motorcycles in race trim here in MotoAmerica competition. So now we have these 6. They're starting to eke away from the rest of the field. Rocco Landers back there on the number 97 on that Revzilla Motul Vance & Hines Harley Davidson, leading the charge for the rest of the field. But all eyes up front. Thought for a moment that maybe Hayden Gillum was going to have a go at Tyler. Now let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Hannah Lopa.
Greg, you mentioned at the start of the race, Jake Lewis absent from the grid. He did not finish race 1. He was having some electrical gremlins. They've been fighting with them all weekend. I spoke to the team and they decided out of an abundance of caution.
Under braking, they don't get tied up in knots quite as much as they were as we've seen in years past. As Herfoss now taking a shot at his teammates. So already it's a lap and a half in. Herfoss finds his way to the front. These guys.
Yeah, Greg and Jason, you were talking about how big of a change to make, and are you willing to take that risk? Where are you willing to compromise? I touched base with Hayden Gillum's team to see what was making the difference. They told me huge wholesale changes. They flipped that entire bike upside down. It does not even resemble the bike that he raced in race 1 today.
Amazing. And you see there, Kyle Wyman slides up the inside of O'Hara as they go up into turn 1.
Nope, we know that Bobby Fong likes to go up the inside, and so do his competitors.
He's trying right now, and to see if he lets go of this lever. And yeah, he's close. But this is the turn that he basically goes a lot narrower into here, and you can see Kyle Wyman showing some pace at the front with Herfoss, but just behind, there's Bobby Fong in 4th. This is a turn he's been extremely good at. It looks like he's trying to set up O'Hara as they go down to here into turn 19. Greg, he's going to make that pass.
So that was around the outside, but can he get the bike turned? That bike moving all over the place. He gets it turned for the moment, and now onto the front straightaway they go, but Fong trying to protect that line. That motorcycle all over the place, but Fong now up to 3rd place, Hannah.
And Greg, when I went to check in with the team between races, they were actually mid-engine swap, which you know is no easy feat on any day, but with such a quick turnaround, it's really impressive to see them get that done for him.
Yeah, and just like that, Bobby Fong so deep on the rear brake, gets the thing sideways, and no matter how much dirt tracking you have, up that hill and then unloading that rear end, that almost went.
This is all going to be because of exactly what you said, Greg. He gets in there way too deep, and he probably felt like his drive out of the last corner could have been a little bit compromised because of the. And you can see he's all the way on the left. He wants to make O'Hara go to the right of him, Greg, so he can still hold on to that track position when he gets down to this hard braking area.
Still Herfoss leads on the 17 from Kyle Wyman on the 33. And then, there you go, the 29 of O'Hara moves by into third spot. So
the Harley has a tendency to get sideways a lot more on the exits than the Indian. The Indian looks like it's tracking forward. And the Harleys, every now and then, they look like they're, like you see even there with Rispoli, you see that initial throttle touch. And that could even be, like I said this morning, they've had to gear the bikes a little bit shorter, Greg, to try to get off the corners with the Indians a little bit better. So that could be one of the reasons why they feel these things spinning up the way they are. But Wyman looks great right now. 15.2s. Again, both the guys in the front are both the only two riders that time that were in the 2-minute 15 range. Yeah, these bikes, they have so much grip, Greg, and these, when you go out and you watch them, as Rispoli now takes another shot at O'Hara, and that is actually going to open the door for that guy right behind. So you can see there, Hayden Gillum takes advantage of it. This will actually help Rispoli, because I think it messed up O'Hara just enough. Rispoli goes back by. Now Bobby Fong is going to be the worry, as he is in Rispoli's draft there on the right side of our screen.
And there goes Kyle Wyman. So Wyman up the inside on Herfoss, and a good move for Wyman, but Herfoss squares it up and then just grabs a handful and gets back by.
Yeah, fired it right back through there. And let's see what happened here. Is Rispoli, Fong, and O'Hara.
Boy.
This is a mess right here. You see O'Hara, this is just hard racing at this point. These guys are all battling so hard. They want to get to the front and then see if they can get away from the guys behind him. And O'Hara, unfortunately, in this case, kind of lost out with all three of them as Gillum moves through as well.
So Bobby Fong trying some lines, and boy, he's got a lot of corner speed on that Indian motorcycle. So the factory Harley-Davidsons at the moment are 2-3. With Kyle Wyman, he's had a good look at Herfoss. He's given him a shot, but now what's the plan? Maybe later in the lap, Jay, is what I'm thinking, is we are now going to go and get that white flag. So final lap and final time for Kyle Wyman to unfold his plan on how he's going to beat Troy Herfoss to the line.
He's got to park him in one of these slow turns. He's in too deep here. I think Herfoss will probably be able to turn it back underneath him. But that's kind of what Kyle's got to do, is disrupt the lap as he's able.
There you go. Kyle Wyman, factory Harley-Davidson, your championship points leader coming into this thing, trying to extend as the battle for the final podium spot continues. Rispoli just searching for any traction in the rear tire right now. And Bobby Fong trying to make a move up the inside. Boy, that was on the paint. That was so tight. But a good move from Rispoli to hold him off for third place for the moment on this final lap of the Mission King of the Baggers race number 2. And now Rispoli with a couple bike lengths in between, but Fong with a plan. Back to the front we go, and Kyle Wyman on the 33 on that factory Harley-Davidson, that Screaming Eagle machine. Onto the front straightaway we go for the final time in this corner, and he's got a couple bike lengths. Can he keep it tidy? Wyman on the gas, behind the bubble, and to the line they come, and Wyman takes victory, and a 14.8 for Kyle Wyman on the last lap, and Rispoli holding on to third, and a new track record, and Mission King of the Baggers finally dip into the 2:14 bracket.
Amazing.
Incredible. Here's a look at the results for Mission King of the Baggers race number 2. It's Kyle Wyman, .677 over James Rispoli, and Bobby Fong in the mix in front of Tyler O'Hara and Hayden Gillum.